Hello everyone, here's your astrologer Hassan Jaffer analyzing the talented singer and musician Amy Winehouse's natal chart, what she was born with. Here's a natal chart with the 12 houses, the center line being the celestial horizon. She had a lot of planets below the horizon, indicating a lot of potential and that she really knew all her talents. I mean, these were not just somebody who just comes up in the limelight for a day or so and fizzles out like a firecracker. It's not like that. Now, she was born in the sign of Virgo, and Mercury in the sign of Virgo made her very practical, very down-to-earth. But the first problem was the Mercury-Neptune square configuration. Very creative aspect, but where they cannot separate truth from fantasy. Excellent for lyrics, for counseling other people, but these people need some good counseling, some good down-to-earth person, but they're also psychically very vulnerable. Saturn was in the sign of Scorpio when she was born, which gives us morbid depression, very dark moods, in 1983 till November 1985, and I predicted about everyone wearing the color black. In that time, the punk rock, actually the punk started where they were wearing black from head to toe. It was 1983 till November of 1985, and she was born with that. So it gives very sort of dark moods. Moon being in Capricorn didn't help either because that indicates all like blocked emotions. Moon being close to Neptune gives an acute sensitivity and where they reach out for the underdog, but also emotional misjudgments in the areas where it is in the 7th house, of course, which is marriage. That's where the sadness was, that she would set herself up for disappointments in this area as well. And now Mars within the sign of Leo, very flashy sight, and the stage presence is trying to Neptune, indicating all her creative talents that she would be able to produce a prodigious amount of work. It's a habit-forming aspect, but not necessarily addictive in a negative way. It's only by transit that Neptune was opposing this Mars-Neptune theme, is touching off that Neptune continuously. I mean, Neptune was touching off Mars for about 3-4 years, making it this drug addiction, which I've dealt more in part 2 and 3. She's born Venus in Leo, which gives a star quality, very similar to Tom Cruise and Stella and Nicole Kidman and Sylvester Stallone and all. It's a very also flashy side, the beehives, and Nicole Kidman, of course, is much more subtle. Of course, she's more into designer clothes, but here it was in her raw beauty. The Venus-Neptune also makes a person very idealistic in love matters, but also, to some extent, photogenic as well. And on the second and third track, I'm going to deal much more with the transits, that is, what was happening in the last few years and on the last date. But it's important to know that she was not born with the negative aspect. And the last 3-4 years, because Pluto touched off this Mercury-Neptune theme, Pluto, Uranus, Saturn, everything touched it off. And of course, with Neptune touching off Venus and Mars, indicating a deep sadness, major sign of sorrow in love matters. She was born with a positive aspect of it, but if she was going through the negative one by transit. Also, the addictive aspect with Neptune in her 10th house, which was fantastic for her career, but opposed that Mars, it's a major addictive aspect. And she was born with this theme. And so she was born with a very positive aspect, very talented, even though it was quite rough, the thing that she wrote, and not very subtle, and quite physically a very strong type of personality, actually, very passionate, very warm, but also a bit of a tortured soul, because by transits, only the last 3-4 years, if she had somebody to guide her, that would have been fantastic. It also indicates one of the parents being a bit not very much, with a feeling. She loved her father, of course. Even the tattoo, if you see, says "Daddy's girl." But I have a feeling that her mother was quite strong type personality, but not very nurturing type, because that's that Moon in Capricorn. They had that childhood, right from childhood, deep sadness. And I think her father left when she was about 9 years old or something. But she did love her father. And on the second and third track, I'm going to deal more with the transits. And be sure to enter it. And here's your astrologer, Hassan Jaffer, signing off.